What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Hela, Dr. Voodoo, and Mordo together in Alliance War, and how this team already, even without Morbius, is starting to come together and have some really powerful stuff going on here. This is a 100k punch-up against Doom with new warriors. Now, there's an invisible woman here and says Silver Surfer. I have found Silver Surfer can make this a little complicated, but between the Greg dying, which fuels the ability energy with Mordo, and then fuels the death proofs and the offense up on the Dark Hunters, there's some incredible synergy going on here already. So we're going to talk about this a little bit more. I'm going to talk about my team and what T4s I have on them, just kind of show them real quick what I'm working with here, and then break down a couple of these battles. So if you guys do find this video helpful, you do enjoy it, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Let's dive right into it, and let's start with the with my characters here. So Voodoo, Mordo, and Hela, right up here at the top. So I mean, yeah, let's start with Dr. Voodoo. Right now, he's 4 red, 4 yellow for me. In my testing, he was at 3 red, 3 yellow. He's gone up another star since then. But this is what I'm running with him right now. 3 T4s on him so far. I am really considering this T4 on his basic as well, especially as I continue to gear him up. I'm running Skirmisher ISO on him because at low stars, he really needs that focus boost because you need that ability block and that defense down from his special to really stick. And this is like the most important T4 you're going to need on him right away. You want this ability block on the primary target for his special. His ultimate will clear all negative effects from Dark Hunter allies and steals an additional 10% max health from all enemies, which is great. But then his passive here, this is where he's really going to shine in this kind of team with Mordo and Hela, is because whenever a character, or sorry, no, this is not actually important. And then you have his passive here, which is okay. This is one where, because I have him at a lower star level, you'll want this. And I've talked about his T4s and ISOs in other videos already. But yeah, he's probably gonna get all 4 T4s eventually. Baron Mordo, I only have the passive here, which you want because you need this with the ability energy for Death of Mystic, any Mystic character, which includes the Gregs. Those Gregs die mean that he will give ability energy to the lowest health Mystic character on your team. And then you're gonna want this too, because it applies stun to the primary target, which is very, very helpful. But you know, this was buffed as well in that he's able to blind up to 3 targets on the enemy team. And this was buffed from 50% chance to 75% chance if he has 4 more Mystic allies. And then we have Hela here, and passive and the ultimate for her, because the ultimate helps apply or spread more negative effects. The passive here, it's just because this is what I was using when we had Asgardians for war defense. I just had that passive. You don't really need that passive now, but this team is good stuff. I really love using this team, and you know, we can talk about the 2 other Dark Hunters here, but really what's going on with this team is that you have the Greg summons from Hela, the undead Asgardian here. They even call it the Hela summon. Undead Asgardian. But yeah, very low health. Will die pretty easily, but every time that an ally on your team dies, you get this passive here with Dr. Voodoo. I'm messing up names tonight, I apologize. Whenever an ally dies, he gains +1 death proof and offense up to self on all Dark Hunter allies, which is great. You know, you have Elsa and Ghost Rider on the team already. Both those characters are top-of-the-line damage. Ghost Rider is top 10. Elsa is tied with Dr. Doom in terms of damage. So, yeah, she gets pretty crazy with the damage stats. They both get offense up. You also then get, whenever Greg dies, he's a Mystic character, you get that ability energy now. With the death of a Mystic, heal self and a supernatural ally, grant ability energy for that self and that ally. Perfect. So, you have both those going on. Every time Greg dies, he also reduces the enemy's speed bar by 15%. Hela just keeps summoning him back and just keeps going. And really, you get this nice speed bar boost because of the passive on Ghost Rider, where every time they apply a negative effect to an enemy, that's 3% speed bar per enemy that has a negative effect applied to them. So they get a lot of speed bar at the start with this. They build up, you get out to this really outrageous advantage. You have the bleeds with Ghost Rider and his special. You have Dr. Voodoo's special, which is putting an ability block on the primary target. and defense down on that primary and adjacents. You have Mordo with his special or his ultimate, whichever one. You can put heal block or blind and stun on different enemies. And then that's not even to mention Morbius yet, which we will still waiting for Morbius to show up, but this team is going to get nuts when Morbius shows up. It's going to counter Heroes for Hire for sure, but there's going to be some great uses for Morbius outside of countering Heroes for Hire. I feel like Dark Hunter is going to be a pretty powerful war offense team, and we'll talk about that more in the future. So, with that in mind, I want to go back to this footage here of us fighting this Doom New Warriors team, because like right here, this is the perfect example of what kind of team you can use this to counter. There's a lot of Mystic characters on this team. Doom's Mystic. All 3 New Warriors are Mystic. One thing that I thought was interesting is that the Doom bot is only tech. It is not Mystic. Even though Doom is both Mystic and tech, you do not get that with the Doom bots, which, I mean, makes sense. It's just a robot, so it's not really surprising to see that only gets a tech tag. I can always ask about that, but I have a feeling they're going to say that's perfectly intentional. We're going to get this ability energy, or we're going to get this defense down ability block on Doom. We're going to nuke him pretty quickly there. I mean, you can see that already. You know, even without offense up on most of my characters, we took Doom down fast. And that was because we had a dagger here. Like, if we had Deathpool next to Doom here, this would have been really, really bad. It would have likely killed Doom there with the mind control ability from Dr. Voodoo. Plus, every time that someone's mind controlled to attack with Voodoo's special, they gain 30% bonus damage on that attack. So, you're talking a lot of damage on the primary target. Now, we're going to try to stun Cloak, get some blinds out here. We did land it there, but now we can target Doom here, spread that blind out. You could have also done, I should have done, actually what I should have done here, instead of Doom, was taking this defense down from Dagger. And this was a misplay on my part. This defense down would be far more valuable because I could use that on some of these characters. But they're also all about to move, so it wouldn't have really made a difference. You're going to see all of them are going to move. And yeah, the defense down wouldn't have really made a difference at this point. But we were at least able to get blind on Deathpool, and that was great. So now we need to take out Cloak. And we're doing some decent damage there. Now we've got defense down on him. And if Cloak was to dodge, my Elsa would retaliate here. And Cloak would still take a ton of damage. And look at that. Elsa just... I mean, look at those hits. So that she will hit 5 times for this much damage. Like, I'm running Striker on her for this reason. I may run Raider on her. The only ISOs I'm sure of for now are Skirmisher on Voodoo until you have them higher in gear and stars. Then Healer pulls ahead. And Striker on Morbius. Beyond that, I don't really know what to do. Also, Skirmisher on Mordo. Mordo and Skirmisher makes too much sense. But, yeah, I'm still experimenting with the ISO on Ghost Rider and Elsa. Like, I could just do Raider on both, maybe. But Striker is so good for both of them because they have so much damage going around. So, I don't really quite know just yet. I'm going to keep playing around with it. But there we go. Stun and blind on these characters. Possible we get the dodge on Dagger. And yeah, I mean, Dagger's going to go down here in a second. In the process, she is going to... Oh, and there too. These New Warriors, they follow on health. We use the basic here from Voodoo. Steals a Death Proof. Copies it to himself. And now Voodoo is running a couple different stacks of Death Proof on himself. And now he gets another stack of Death Proof because Greg just died. Doing more damage, doing some damage to Deathpool. Got defense down on her, which is great, but then she moves, so not the best. And then it freezes here a second, and I was like, oh, maybe it wasn't going to work. So this could just be a visual glitch where my phone's just having problems like processing the animation there. But yeah, once he was done using his move, everything went back to normal, and now we're just going to take out Deathpool. And we're doing some decent damage with the ultimate there from Ghost Rider. He does have offense down on himself, so it could be better. But yeah, there you go. Some nice damage there on Deathpool, and that's it. So, like, every time I defeat a new warrior here, I'm gaining ability energy on my team because of Mordo, and every time Greg dies, that's more ability energy for my team. So, there's a bit of a give and take here. Now, one of the funnier things... And I want to show this because I thought this was funny, was This is like a 200k punch-up against symbiotes, and usually when you see Hela going up against symbiotes, you think rip. Well, because the Dark Hunters move so fast here, we're able to take out Carnage at the very beginning, before he can get going, and now they don't get the speed bar anymore every time they kill Greg. So, yeah, you would think, like, if you can't get rid of Carnage here, it's not going to end very well. And I probably should have done the ultimate there with Elsa to give herself some offense up, but there you go. Carnage is dead. We got blinds flying around on the symbiotes. We're going to spread everything from Venom. There you go. Some defense down. Blinds on a bunch of people. And now we're just going to go for anti-venom and try to finish him off. So, yeah, if you can negate, because they're so fast, like, you were able to negate something like this. So, possibly against Astonishing X-Men as well, maybe it could work, as long as they don't kill Greg. If they kill Greg and Jubilee's still up, it's game over. So, probably not guaranteed, but, you know, there is a possibility there. And also, yeah, so, like, it's all just gonna kind of come down to chance on that one, but yeah, this is where the power of this team comes into play. You know, with they're moving so fast now. They've got these buffs. They're doing a ton of damage. You got these blinds and stuns flying around. They finally kill a Greg, but all that does is reduce speed bar on them and give offense up to my team. And yeah, it's done and over. Now, this also works for Web Warriors. This one was not as clean as I would have liked it to be, but this is still about a 50k punch-up, and every time a Web Warrior dodges, Elsa just retaliates. It's some good stuff, and if they kill my Greg, I just get offense up. They lose some speed bar, and yeah, it's a good time. Now, of course, they all dodged there, but we did get defense down on Ghost Spider at least, which was nice. But yeah, this is still a bit of a problem. Where, yeah, it's still a little bit tricky with this team. And also, I should note, I am missing the T4 on the passive for Elsa here. So that would probably make this much more manageable against Web Warriors. I'd get more damage on her hits for them dodging. But, yeah, it's still a little bit of a tricky thing. And also would give her more accuracy on her passive too. So, you know, this doesn't go as well as I would have liked. I mean, I will lose Brother Voodoo here as well, but, you know, I'm going to kill off these Web Warriors. And this is a 50k punch-up. I could do better. I know people have punched up more with this team, but I did want to show it in case you're looking for something to use for Web Warriors in the meantime, in case you're still trying to find something that's not Black Order to beat your Web Warriors on defense. You can use the Dark Hunters with Hela here and with Mordo, and it seems to work pretty well. So that's not too bad. Now, another one, and this is one that will not work with the Kestrel variant of this. This is a slight punch down against Secret Avengers with Nick Fury and Coulson here. Kestrel will absolutely counter this combination because she blocks summons, so Greg won't summon. It really kind of ruins the whole thing. But you have that Coulson on the enemy team. He gets speed up. He's gonna try to put taunt and defense down on someone on the enemy team. It's a low gear Coulson, so it won't work, but he will be able to kill that Greg, which gets offense up on my team, gives the speed bar reduction. Now we have all these minions out there, and now you can also use those minions to your advantage because now you have more opportunities to get speed bar on your team because of all these minions here. Now, if they had death proof on them in some way, this would be even better because now Ghost Rider is probably going to kill most of these guys because he has offense up on him. Not ideal. But yeah, if we were able to keep that shield security up, that would have been another person with debuffs on them. That would have been another 3% bonus speed bar to our team. So minions, enemy minions are also going to have a bit of an advantage here too. Especially this too. So now I actually chose this for a reason. I should have done Coulson here, probably. I chose Sharon here because there's a minion here. And I can now block her stun here. But I could have also done Coulson. And then we'll put defense down on 4 other enemies too, and that would have given 15% speed bar versus 12. So ability block on Sharon here. We're slowly working through things. I don't have the deflex off Sam here, so I'm going to go for heal block. And now we got 2 minions with heal block, even more speed bar on my team. So that was 100. That was 12% speed bar on my team there for that. We had immunity on Maria, and might as well have had immunity because there was deflect on Sam. But now we have a bunch more minions out. So now, I can take one of these characters with defense down and heal block. It does clear the death proofs from the enemies, but they have defense up. So they're still going to take some solid, or they're still going to like survive that. And that means debuffs on them and more speed bar for my team. And that was not you. That was the game. It just, I'm surprised my phone has not crashed while playing Marvel Strike Force, because I get this all the time where things just glitch out. Stun Maria, blind on that shield trooper, and there you go. So this was a slight punch down. This could be a solid punch up against this team as long as Kestrel's not present. And this is pretty cool. So we're starting to see the power of this team. That offense up on our team allows us to get a lot more damage out. The speed bar change with Greg in there dying, that speeds up my Dark Hunters, meaning they get more debuffs out, which means even more speed bar for them. And these enemy teams with lots of summons, like Secret Avengers, perfect. Now, one other one I want to try out here, and I tried this with both positionings on Black Order, where this one, it shows like they're supposed to be next to Cole Obsidian here, and it swaps it. I've also tried it where, like, if we go into battle here, it's going to show Corvus next to Cole Obsidian. And it swaps this sometimes. Before, when I've had it here, like, it's like Corvus here in the middle, Thanos is next to Cole Obsidian. This doesn't really change the thing. This really doesn't change anything. And also, you're probably wondering what happens if we get a double dip of Greg's dying at the beginning. Still doesn't change speed bar enough. Thanos will still get his special off before I have a chance to move. Even with Greg dying twice, it's not going to make a difference. So at this point, I'm running into a bit of a disadvantage. We got defense up on the enemy team. We've got offense down on our team. So bit of a disadvantage here, but we are still able to apply like defense down to Cole Obsidian. We're able to get that that ability block on him. So now we can try to stun some of these characters here. It glitches. It freezes up again. And I'm thinking about what I want to do here. So I put stun on him, and what I should have done stun on someone else, and then put blind on Cole Obsidian and spread from Hela. Again, not the best decision there, but now I've got ability block blind on both Proxima and Thanos. Gives me a free turn here, but I'm running into this issue again, where I've got offense down on my team. It is countered by the offense up from Voodoo's passive with Greg dying. I'm just trying to work my way through this Thanos over here, try to get him dead before his ultimate hits, which is not going to happen. He will use his ultimate here in a minute. And yeah, not the best, but those blinds are definitely helping kind of slow things down and get a bit more advantage of for my team here. Get a bit of a heal up there with Voodoo. And again, this is where that basic T4 on Voodoo would really help. There you go, it killed the Greg there. And our Voodoo is getting pretty close to dying here. So those death proofs, those constant stacking death proofs is also very helpful here, where because I have a low power Brother Voodoo at this point, he's like 80k power at this point. So, you know, all those death proofs are really helping keeping him alive too, which is great. Working our way through Proxima, kill her, and then we will finish off Ebony Maw here in a minute. We still have a couple death proofs there on Voodoo. Again, another one because Greg does his explosion. And there we go. That finishes off Black Order. So, honestly, this team's already looking pretty good. You know, once Morbius comes in, it's going to be a total game changer. But I do, like, the trio of Mordo, Voodoo, and Hela is going to have some very strong theory crafting, in my opinion. Because, you know, we already know Hela and Mordo have that great synergy with the Greg's dying, giving that ability energy. You bring in Voodoo, you get that defense down, ability block, and always should mention that special is on a very short cooldown. It's a 3-turn cooldown. So if you can keep feeding ability energy to him somehow with Mordo's passive, you're going to get this off a lot. And then that also helps kind of speed up his ultimate here, which cleanses negative effects from himself and Dark Hunter allies, applies immunity to all Mystic allies, so even Hela will get the immunity as well. That, of course, also does ignore Death Proof. So, you know, there's this nice thing here where those three characters have a lot of synergy. So, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything else you guys want me to try with these characters in war? Let me know down below. As always, if you guys have enjoyed this video or found it helpful, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.